Good Sunday morning, everyone. Taking a live look outside. And yes, that is a fresh layer of snow that you're probably going to be waking up to this morning. Thanks so much for sharing your Sunday with us. I'm Anusha here with Keely. It was just a little bit of light snow, kind of looked like we were in a snow globe almost. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. And we're getting a little bit of light snow still out there this morning. Just some light flurries. That'll kind of be the theme for today. But the big story, not necessarily the snow, but the cold. We are sitting at 3 degrees out at DIA right now. Again, some light flurries out there, but check out the important number is that wind chill number. Minus 14 right now. It is cold. It is going to be cold throughout the day. We have a wind chill advisory going into effect even for the metro area at 7 o'clock tonight. So again, we're talking dangerously cold conditions out there. Taking a look at our HD Doppler radar. Again, just some light flurries out there. The other story will be the clouds, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day today. The heavier snow falling up to the north, Fort Collins to the Wyoming border. And that is where we're going to see some pretty impressive snow totals. But again, here in the Denver metro area, really just some light flurries, mostly cloudy skies. Those are our temperatures for the day. We're going to top out 10, 11 degrees today and then drop down into the single digits pretty quickly as we head into the evening hours. So again, expect flurries, cold temperatures, mostly cloudy with a high of 11 degrees. Those winds kicking up a little bit. It's going to be breezy with those winds at times up to 20 miles per hour. And again, that wind chill advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight. 8 below, that is our overnight low. And tomorrow, as you bundle up those kids for school, just keep in mind, it is going to be cold. 10 degrees, your forecast high for tomorrow under mostly cloudy skies. This is a brief cold snap. We do start to warm up on Tuesday. We'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast in just a bit.
Are you guys mad? Yeah! Are you guys angry? Yeah!
Well, the outrage over the deadly police beating of Tyre Nichols in Memphis, Tennessee was seen in Denver this weekend, with people demonstrating after seeing the graphic video that was released Friday night. The 5 officers involved have been fired and are now charged with second-degree murder and kidnapping.
It feels like sometimes it's a hopeless battle. The fact that we have to come out here and have the same fight just for a different person. Someone who can be as young as me, someone who's double my age, someone who's a black man or a black woman. It's upsetting.
So there were several people who were talking on the steps of the state capitol. The group of demonstrators then marched down Colfax, followed by police cruisers. Use of force experts are pointing out that none of the 5 Memphis officers stepped in to stop their group beating of Tyre Nichols. Some departments have started emphasizing that police intervention in their training, including here in Denver. 9 News reporter Luis De Leon explains.
I hope they stomp.
Law enforcement experts we spoke to say what was clear in the videos of Tyre Nichols' encounter with police was the group of officers failing to stop each other from the use of force escalating. It's something police departments across the country have been trained on.
And so ABLE was designed to try to build those cultures.
Tahir Duckett is executive director of the Center for Innovations in Community Safety at Georgetown Law, which runs the Active Bystandership for Law Enforcement Project, or ABLE for short.
And make sure that law enforcement officers have the skills that they need to be able to intervene when the moment comes to prevent harm.
While also training departments to build a culture where retaliation won't occur if an officer steps in when they think a fellow officer is going too far.
And of course, when that happens in the law enforcement context, there can be deadly consequences.
ABLE's team typically trains the folks in charge of training their own officers. Denver Police, for example, was one of the first agencies to use the ABLE program. We saw the training taught firsthand in the spring of 2021.
Martin and all them are over there chasing them.
But Duckett says the video of Tyre Nichols sends a message.
ABLE can build a culture of active bystandership. But what you saw with Tyre Nichols is a different sort of cultural problem, right? Where you have to know sort of a basic right from wrong. And that's something that ABLE can't do.
The team on ABLE includes law enforcement personnel, academics, psychologists, and so much more. And there are now more than 300 agencies that have utilized this training. Demonstrations were seen across the country in cities like Boston, Atlanta, and New York City, groups calling for police reform. Nichols' family is asking demonstrators to stay peaceful. The Memphis Police Department announced that it has permanently deactivated its Scorpion unit. That is the same unit where all 5 former officers were charged in Nichols' death worked. The unit was launched in 2021 to tackle rising crime in the city. It was made up of 4 teams of about 30 officers who targeted areas of high crime. The lawyer representing Nichols' family says that they wanted that unit disbanded immediately.
That was part of the culture. As responsible as those 5 officers were for killing Tyre Nichols and that reprehensible conduct we saw in that video, we think that this was part of the culture of the Scorpion unit. And so we demanded that they disbanded immediately before we see anything like this happen again.
In a statement, the department said that it was imperative to take proactive steps in the healing process of all of those impacted by Nichols' death, saying it is in the best interest of all to permanently deactivate the unit. Well, there was a chance to hear and preserve the important stories of veterans of all ages. The Library of Congress has a Veterans History Project, and veterans were gathering at the American Legion Post in Broomfield yesterday to share their stories.
I think people forget how tragic and stressful war it really is on the people who serve, how much they go through to preserve our freedom and our way of life. And those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it.
Also provided photos, letters, diaries, other memoirs to tell their story. The project currently has records for more than 114,000 veterans, and that number is going up. There is a searchable database on the Library of Congress website. Well, there was a huge Chinese New Year celebration at the Grand Hyatt on Welton Street last night, slated as the largest Chinese New Year party in the city. This year is the year of the rabbit. There was dinner, performances, a night market. All of the money raised is going to the Nathan Yip Foundation, which supports teachers in rural Colorado. Well, also hundreds of students were coming together to address diversity issues in their schools. They were meeting at the 30th Annual Colorado Youth Diversity Conference. Here's 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon.
I feel as though I'm able to express a lot of my beliefs.
Students from across Colorado are getting an open forum to discuss social issues that impact their daily lives.
Advocating for those who feel silenced and those who need to be heard has always been a true passion of mine.
Jada Ward is a sophomore at Eagle Crest High School. It's her first time at the Colorado Youth Diversity Conference.
That's the importance of coming into here, is like making those connections and just being able to learn from those connections.
More than 800 students are coming together to discuss things they don't always have the space to talk about at school.
Gender, LGBTQ topics, race, especially when I came from a school that was predominantly white, and so we would bring kids of color, and being able to just see that their voice does have weight.
Danielle Glasgow is the campus administrator at Cherry Creek Elevation. She's been bringing students here for the last decade.
I want them to leave here feeling empowered, that they can come back and actually start a campaign, start a conversation that maybe they felt they couldn't start before.
Diversity in sports.
And those sometimes difficult to have conversations are already flowing among students.
The implicit bias we aren't always aware of, and that can be kind of systemic, like you're raised in that sort of setting.
So far in Jada's small group, they've already discussed identity, mental health, and stereotypes.
Snaps to you.
She hopes out of discussions like these, she can create change in her own community.
Use those strategies to just create an environment where everybody is heard and everybody feels welcomed and included.
Courtney Yoon.
We're all human at the end of the day, so.
9 News.
So the conference is offering 46 workshops, topics like suicide prevention, human trafficking, and knowing your rights when you encounter police. Well, if you're ready for the cold and the snow to be over, you're gonna have to hang in there because we're not even close. The next couple of days gonna be a little bit rough. We are talking about really, really cold temperatures. We're gonna have a look at your forecast and the rest of the season after this break.